Angina, and re-angiogram showed that he had diffuse disease, ISR, and we are going to plan how to treat him today. His EF is normal and his labs are normal, so no worries about that. So in this case, lined up, I'll show you the angiogram now.
Yes, please.
In the meantime, while we were waiting, we got access from the camera, and then we have placed a sand-quench guide, and then we wired into the work for a while, and we've already done some ballooning, and now we will plan further. And I'll just show you that again now.
And how many stents were put in? How many stents?
So there were 2 stents that were put in originally. I think they were done in 2016. They were both drug-eluting stents. The distal one was a 2.5 by 40 millimeters, and the more proximal stent was a 2.75 by 40 millimeter stent.
Right.
So can you just let that angiogram run, please? Yeah. Just next picture. Yeah. So we've got a 7 French guide in place. It's slightly short, as you can see. This is a 3.0 guide, but we've been able to wire the LED. This is a run-through wire that we put down here, and that's the first angiogram picture. So you can see that there is diffuse in-stent restenosis in these drug-eluting stents. So I'd be interested to hear what you think and what the panel thinks in terms of how they should go about treating this. So I'm going to hand back to you, and let's, why don't we sort of hold the panel if you like, and see what other individuals will do in terms of treating this lesion.
Thank you. So we have Brigadier Nasir Samoor. So Nasir Samoor, this is your patient, and you see 65 years old, previous history of 2 stents, diffuse ISR. What will be your approach in this patient?
I think, sir, I would like to wire the LED and will pre-direct the lesion. I would first like to know the size of the stents which were previously deployed, and I'll do pre-dilatation by escalation of balloons, and will one-to-one pre-dilatation. And after optimizing, I would like to, if it is in-stent restenosis, I would like to dab it, and if there is a marginal in-stent restenosis, I would like to cover it with the stent.
General Tahir Iqbal, any comments or your approach?
And the risk factors are certainly important, but as far as the approach for the management is concerned, and even with the ISR, I can see a critical disease before the stent, and it looks like that we can encounter a lot of calcium here. So I would be ready to do even ROTA before the stents. So that is something which will be very, very tricky in the presence of these stents. That before those lesions, before those lesions, I can see that critical disease and calcium there. So I don't know what to do.
Suhail, you see, before we proceed, we know that there are different options to treat ISR, which is one of the challenging situations. Should we assess this, I think, whether it is new atherosclerosis or it is under expansion? So I think I would like to take your views that how would you assess the reason for this ISR? Because in terms of, you see, the stent expansion or new atherosclerosis, so do you have any plan to reassess in terms of imaging or anything else like that?
Yeah, so actually, these are drug-eluting stents, and we know when drug-eluting stents came about, they reduced in-stent restenosis quite significantly. However, they didn't reduce the incidence of in-stent restenosis to 0%. So there are reasons why stents will still run into problems and you will develop in-stent restenosis. The most likely mechanism here, I think, is probably stent under deployment. This is a 2.75 stent that has been put in the proximal segment of the LAD, and I think that is way too small for this vessel. The other concern, of course, here is the length of stent. So we know that there is a relationship between in-stent restenosis and the length of stent that is put in, regardless of whether that is a bare metal or drug-eluting stent. So I think there are two main reasons why this patient has developed in-stent restenosis. Probably the length of stent that has gone in, and probably undersized stenting in the proximal segment. Intracoronary imaging is certainly going to be useful here. We discussed whether we should be doing that or not. Actually, we don't have the IVUS available, otherwise we would have put an IVUS catheter down, but I'm pretty sure what the IVUS would have shown is that the stents in that proximal segment are under-deployed and probably malapposed to the vessel wall as well. So what we've done here is actually, if we go to the next picture, please. We've gone ahead and we've just gently ballooned the vessel here, because you can see that the flow down the vessel is a little bit sluggish. It was sort of into flow. He was beginning to get a little bit of chest pain as we had our guides happening, and whilst we were waiting for you to come online. So we've gone ahead and we've ballooned this with a 2.5 balloon just past that diagonal branch. And that's improved the flow now. And you can see this very proximal segment. You can see dog bone of this 2.5 balloon, which suggests that actually there is probably some calcification in that proximal segment, which has probably restricted the expansion of the stent, although the stent is probably smaller than that proximal segment anyway, the 275. So next picture, please. So this is kind of where we're up to now. So that's what we've done so far.
Right. So what will be your strategy now to see from here onwards?
Well, there are lots of things that you could consider for this patient, including treatment with drug-eluting balloon therapy. You could think about expanding the stents in the proximal LAD segment with non-compliant balloons. But our concern is, because of the restriction in the 2.5 stent, there is probably some calcification in that segment of vessel. So what they've recently acquired here at the Armed Forces Institute of Cardiology is the Spectranetics laser catheter. So we're hoping to show you a live case demonstration. I think it's going to be the first live case demonstration of the use of laser catheter in Pakistan. So maybe we can just swing round to the console here so we can explain some of the setup to you. So if we could just focus in on the panel there. So remember, laser has been around since the 1980s, and it was originally used for peripheral work. And then the coronary indications came a little bit later, sort of late 80s, early 90s. And one of the problems when laser catheter was introduced was that it basically meant that with the old catheters that we were using, there was a risk of perforation and vessel dissection. Now, of course, technology has moved on since that time, which has meant that actually we've now got newer catheters available which have a reduced risk of causing perforation or dissection. So the main indications for using laser atherectomy, which we're going to show you here, is of course in-stent restenosis. So that's a prime example of where you might want to use it. Patients in whom you can get a wire across a lesion, but you cannot get any microballoons down, so the CTO case where a wire is able to cross, and in patients who have vein grafts, and also patients who have extensive thrombus. So we've used it in primary PCI settings as well, where there's extensive thrombus in the vessels. Now, how the laser works is it uses ultraviolet light at 308 nanometers, so it's low bandwidth light, and it basically has a threefold action. So it breaks the carbon bonds within the tissue. It also causes heat to be generated, which causes the water within the cells to expand, so you get cell expansion, and as a result, you also get a small expansion effect at the tip of the catheter as you're advancing the laser up and down the vessel. So the catheter itself, I don't know if you can see this or not. It's basically a 0.9 millimeter catheter. It comes in four sizes. The 0.9 and the 1.4 are 6 French compatible. We have a 7 French here, so it's not going to be an issue passing this catheter into the vessel. I don't know if you can see my hand. There's a red light at the tip of it, which is basically the eccentric laser electrodes which are placed eccentrically around this catheter tip. So we've already calibrated this device, and we're going to start advancing this up into the patient. And now you probably noticed that we're all wearing these tinted glasses, and we know that the laser has an effect essentially on the eye, so we are all having to protect our eyes, including the patient. And we put a sign up on the front of the door to say that nobody should be walking into the cath as we're lasing within the patient.
So here, what is the crossing profile of this catheter? Do you need to have pre-dilatation, good or?
So we did pre-dilate here, but we pre-dilated because there was reduced flow in the LED. But it wouldn't have been an issue trying to get this catheter down into the coronary. It has a very good crossing profile. So I'm going to just get you to focus in on the console now. So if you start advancing the catheter, please. And so what you can see there are two important things to note here. On the left, you can see that there is a fluency rate, and that is measured in millijoules per millimeter squared. And essentially what that is the amount of energy that we are going to deliver within the coronary artery. The other thing on the right-hand side is the frequency, or the rate, so the number of pulses that we will deliver and generate in a second. Now, the 0.9 millimeter catheter will allow us to